Fiji up against Tonga here in New Zealand. It is a Rugby World Cup warm-up game. It's a neutral venue, so that's kind of a good build-up for these two teams. And to be honest, these are two teams that I should watch more games of, but I don't always get around to watching, which is my own fault. But yeah, I'm pretty happy that this one is going to be on at a nice hour here in New Zealand. It's being played in New Zealand, 4:30 afternoon kickoff at Eden Park. Between the two teams, Fiji seems to have a better recent record over Tonga, winning 7 of the last 10. And they've named a pretty strong lineup. I'll put the lineups in the description so you guys can have a look. But both sides, I'm definitely not familiar with everybody in these teams. But a lot of players, former Super Rugby players, current guys in Europe, some very big names in both sides. So kind of exciting to see how these guys line up. I would imagine most of these guys will be going to the Rugby World Cup. I think Fiji's only got one guy to cut. I haven't seen the latest update on where the Tongan side is at. But just looking at the guys that I know, I can't imagine them not making the Rugby World Cup, barring some kind of injury or whatnot. So we'll hope for no injuries in this game, and we will hope it is an exciting one, and hope that it's well attended. So despite the fact that I'm not going. So Fiji's lineup, you got some big names. Nakarawa is there. Vili Mata is there, although he is on the bench. Waqaniburotu, oh man, I can never get that guy's name right. He is there. I've looked up some YouTube clips of him playing to try and refresh my mind on his pronunciation, but the Fijian commentators say his name so quickly, I just cannot catch it. But yeah, any tips on his name, much appreciated. I do try and get the names right as much as I can. Radradra, whose name I know I'm not saying correctly because there's a rule in Fijian where there's like N's ahead of D's or after A's. I forget how it goes. I know that's why it's Nandi and not Nadi for the capital. But yeah, to have the semi back as I get away from a language lesson is awesome news, because we haven't seen him play, at least in those games against the Mawi All Blacks. And I don't think did he play in the Pacific Nations Cup? I don't think so. I know he was nursing a bit of an injury. So excited to have him back. Tuisova and Goneva are on the wings. Again, very exciting players. And with Veitokani at fullback, the guy who played, I think, 10 in the second game against the Mawi All Blacks, he was probably better when he played at fullback, but it's a common path for guys who make their way to 10 at some point in their career to start at 15, and he looked really good at 15 when we saw him play that first game. So excited to see how he goes. Campese, Ma'afu, Sam Matavesi, and Tawake are the front row. But yeah, it's a pretty... I should mention as well that Ben Volavola is preferred at 10 ahead of the other Matavesi. So that's Josh. It's kind of an interesting one because I felt like Josh Matavesi seems to kick an awful lot. Ben Volavola, from what I know of him from when he played here in New Zealand and in Australia, he's kind of magic or sometimes miss. It depends on how he goes. He definitely does some very good things, and I felt like Fiji looked a wee bit better with him there. But I suppose in terms of reliability, maybe consistency, Matavesi is your guy. You guys let me know your thoughts on that one. The Tongan team, again, there's a fair few guys who, if you're a New Zealand fan, you'll be pretty familiar with. Fisi'ihoi is there at loose head prop. He used to play for the Chiefs. Hala Nuka is there. At tight head, he used to play for the Highlanders, so a very familiar name. Sam Lausi, the Hurricanes player, he's there. Steve Muffy, the former Force player, he's there. So a lot of big guns and very, very solid players. Cooper Vuna is there. Haven't seen that guy play for a fair while, to be fair. I'm sure the last time I saw him play was on the wing, but he's at inside centre. Siali Piatau is there, and he's captain at outside centre. He's been playing, I think, Bristol for quite some time. I think he played with Charles, right? So be nice to have Charles in that team, to be fair. But hey, that is what it is. That's the World Rugby thing. On the bench, you got Kurt Morath. That guy's been around for ages. I looked up his age. He's still not quite as old as me, but I feel like I thought it was going to be close, and it was pretty close. I think it was in like a year between us. But Fuka is there, reserve number 9. He plays for Auckland. So, yeah, I'm definitely not as familiar as I should with both these teams. I know most of the big guns. You guys will have to give me some insights on who else I should be looking out for that I haven't mentioned. As I said, I'll put the teams in the description. I should definitely watch more. Like the Pacific Nations Cup, I hardly saw any. I saw wee bits, but yeah, I should be watching more of these teams. In terms of the prediction, I couldn't find the TAB here in New Zealand even taking bets on this game unless I missed it, but I did have a good look. But I saw that Rugby Forecast, the predictions algorithm, has Fiji winning by 8 points, so relatively closely contested, but not within one try anyway. So Fiji, comfortable one-try favourites, if you can call that comfortable. But yeah, hopefully it should be a good game. As I said, I'll lean on you guys to educate me a wee bit more about some of the players that I haven't mentioned. But yeah, you guys let me know if you're going to the game as well, because it should be an entertaining one. And yeah, I'll talk to you guys again soon. See you later.